Hi. Okay, so this is week two, video response, excuse me. I know it's a little bit late, so I'm sorry. So we were asked to read chapters 1 through 7 and locate some more instances where there's conflict between outward appearance and inner character. Um, so I think there was a lot of instances, when Dick, he kind of comes into contact with the man. He shines his shoes, and then he needs change, and he has a dollar bill, a $2 bill. So he goes to the store and tries to get change, and then he's like, "Oh, this is a counterfeit $2 bill. Um, you you need to get out of here, you rascal," or whatever he calls them. And he doesn't believe him that he actually got this $2 bill from doing hard work. He was trusted to go get the change. And then the man tries to kind of like swindle him out of that $2 bill. So he goes back to the guy who, he's this um, businessman or whatever he does. He's wearing a suit, he looks reputable. And so then he goes and gets the guy, comes back. And you all know this because you read it. But I think that the fact that his look is what prompted the store owner to be like, "You must have stolen this. I'm going to keep it." Um, it was all based on his look. It was all based on the fact that he was a shoe shiner and he was like kind of dirty and he didn't look like the other, educated boys. But then I think sort of where that other contrast in character comes is when um, the storekeeper thinks that just because he works at the store, no one's going to think that he's lying about stealing their $2 bill. So that says a lot about his character. But what I really liked about that scene, like specifically, is that they took Ragged Dick's side. They kind of fought and were like, "Okay, store owner, if you don't have the $2 bill, then you will be fine getting searched." And the fact that he got searched and they found the dollar bill on him and he was fired, rather than just immediately saying, "There's no way you could have stolen this $2 bill. There's no way that the store owner actually has the $2 bill on him. Ragged Dick must be lying." So I think that has a lot to say about the characters of not only the police officer but the guy in the suit, because I feel like normally people would think they're gonna take the storekeeper's side. So that's just kind of one scene where I saw um, an unexpected twist of character. And then, there's a lot of other scenes where they go into the hotel for the first time, and at first, like, the bellboy or whoever's at the front door doesn't want to let Ragged Dick in, um, and Frank's uncle, he says, "No, no, no, like, I have a job for him, he's fine, he can come with me." um, so he lets him in. That's just, you see that where it's that first appearance that they're like, "Oh, this boy's dirty, why is he here?" um, so there's that. There's also, the scene. Let's see, I'm trying to think. The scene where, oh, he's explaining, when he was younger, he's like, "I would never steal. I will never stoop to that level. I wanted the bread as much as I wanted that bread. I couldn't do it." And he's like, "I can't bring myself to do it." So that says a lot. You grow up with that struggle and you have the temptation. It's there. And a hunger can do a lot to a person. And the fact that, he didn't do it and yet all the other boys were, and I know that that was kind of an example in like in the instructions, but I still think that's a very prevalent one. What I also think is kind of cool about Ragged Dick is he uses, when he's showing Frank around the town, he uses his street smarts to sort of be this like Robin Hood, to like, maybe Robin Hood's not the best idea, but he kind of is like swindling the swindler. When he's like, "Oh, because I've lived on the streets and I know this," so he sees the guy drop the pocketbook and he's like, "I know exactly what he's doing." So then he swindles him out of swindling someone else, because he's like, "No, I see what you're doing and you can't get away with this." the fact that like he kind of uses his street smarts in a good way, that says a lot about his character too. Um, and then on the flip side, speaking of Frank, it's Frank's uncle, or whoever the man that he was staying with. The fact that he took time to, he invested in Ragged Dick and was like, you know what, you look like a good person, you seem to have an honest face. That really says a lot about him, because he didn't have to. He could have just taken the stance like everyone else did and like shooed Ragged Dick away and been like, no, you're just trying to get money out of us, or like you're gonna steal from us, which isn't the case. Which very clearly he's an honest guy with an honest heart. But then that kind of brings me into the question of what does an open, honest face look like? I don't know if this is really what you're looking for or not. I don't feel comfortable really getting a picture of someone or drawing something because to me, you can't just judge someone who has an honest face. I think that is the issue with the world right now is people are discriminating against what they look like. You know, everyone from, it doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, if you have something that shows that you may not have the same point of view as people here in America, just kind of running off this whole American dream idea, you are discriminated against. People who come into airports who might be Muslim or from the Middle East, they're getting flagged for these things because they don't have an honest face. It's not because there's actual probable cause or there's actually a reason. It's like, no, you are judging them because of what they look like. So the question of like who has an open and honest face, to me, everyone does. If you give me a reason to not trust you and to actually have a reason to be afraid or to say like I can't put faith in this person, then that's where I'm gonna say, you're not honest. But until then, everyone has an honest face. I don't care what you look like, what your hair color you have, where you're from, who you are, who you love. That's not, to me, that doesn't describe an honest face or doesn't show what an honest face is. So, I'm sorry if I'm not answering the question the way that I should be. I just personally don't feel comfortable pulling up an image of what an honest face looks like, because there is no image for an honest face. We all have an honest face. You can't judge people based on looks, based on color, based on race, anything. So, yeah, I'm sorry again if that doesn't answer it the right way, but that's just sort of my belief and my stance on it. And I just wouldn't feel right picking one face out of millions and millions of people who are honest, because there's no face to honesty. You just have to kind of have faith until you're given a reason not to. So, yeah. Well, until next week.